So last year, 3 days a week, Patty would come, the other missionary, and so I would be helping her in the classroom until about midday when she'd leave, and then I'd have about an hour to finish up some work with the kids, to go back into the classrooms or to finish up the work that they had started there. On the other days, I was in and out of classrooms. I was working with kids one-on-one. I was a support in the classroom. It was kind of like every day was a little bit different. It was always an adventure, but there was always something to do and always a lot of need there. The teachers and the family that creates the school were very accepting, and from the very beginning I was included, and they did a good job at making me feel welcome. I think that as the two Americans, Patty and I, it was a little, it's sometimes hard because you're not here all the time, but I was able to breach that gap because I was here every day, all day long, and they realized that I wasn't going to just be coming and going and that I was living here. And so that too, I had a lot of the teachers that were inviting me to go places, and just it was an interesting way to get to know people and working with them. And then it also went into church because a lot of the people that I worked with here went to the church as well, and so that relationship, that friendship crossed over into church and other parts of my life here as well. I thought that Tijuana was going to be warm during the winter too, but it is nothing like San Diego, and that warm weather that we look forward to when we go to Southern California isn't quite what you get when you cross the border and you're in Tijuana. It's cold, and it's very cold here. A lot of the kids this last winter actually didn't have coats or mittens, and it was cold where every day I came in my coat or my sweater and my coat and every other layer I could put on to stay warm, and with my gloves every day. And so it wasn't quite what I had expected. And I guess in the States I've always had the luxury of having, heat. I have heat in the house, and then heat in the car when I get there, and then heat in the school when I got there. But here it's, you're cold in the house and you get up, and you're cold in the car because there's no heat in the car, and you're cold at the school. So you kind of have to adapt to teaching in the cold weather and making sure that your kids are able to learn even though they might be cold and maybe they didn't bring a coat that day. It's been different. I think that my eyes have been opened. I guess you go on a short-term missions trip and you give up little things, or you're uncomfortable for a moment, or you do stuff that are outside of your comfort zone. But living here, I've had to live it and come to terms with who I am in a culture, from my own culture, and come and be a part of another culture. And I think it was a pretty thing to see, and the experience too. And I think that Tijuana has become home more than anything, and my family could say the same thing, because I don't know, Tijuana didn't become a foreign country or a foreign place. It became home to me, and so I no longer see Tijuana as so far away. It's more close to home to me than any other place.